Hey, how's it going? POA here. Gonna just pop open the newest Commander decks and take a quick look at them. Won't be a long video. I was not overly excited about these. We got Virtue and Valor, which shares a whole lot of things with the Enixia deck. It was in Commander Masters at a fraction of the price, actually. But to be fair, the Enixia deck actually had some kind of cool new cards. And then we got the Fey Dominion, which is actually a pretty good deck. But wasn't overly excited, but having said that, it felt good that these were, God, what were they, 35 bucks each, 70 for the two? Which compared to everything else that's been released, I was like, oh, hey, a deal. Wow. Is it a deal? That could be debated. But it kind of felt like a no-brainer to me for a second. Even though I definitely didn't overpay for the Commander Masters ones. Since I pre-bought the entire group at a decent price for the whole group. And I don't regret that, actually. I have a whole lot of fun with what's that Eldrazi's commander name? What's his name? Zuladoc? Yeah. That deck's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I did have to take a 30-minute turn when my giant board full of stuff got, instead of just letting me finish off the game, which they shouldn't do, to be fair. But so you put that with the box. Now it's actually not a bad little design, I'll admit. I know a professor complained about this box, but this is the same box they've been using. Yeah, it's no different. It's laid out a little differently, though, but whatever. Doesn't matter. It's going in the trash anyway. I don't keep them. Yeah, so pretty much had the game on wrap, and then just before my turn, it became a Cyclonic Rift. Okay. So we got Spellbook Vendor and Intangible Virtue. Okay. So I spent, it was probably a good 20 minutes. 20-minute turn kind of putting my board back together, because at that point I could keep putting out more and more mana and keep doing more and more things and keep stacking everything up. And it just became silly. I'm like, that was my most hated Cyclonic Rift I've ever seen. So I haven't looked at actually the face commander on this yet. Okay, so she does an enchantment, virtuous roll on, token, blah blah blah. That's mediocre. That is super mediocre. Okay. Gilwain. All right. So more with the adding of the rolls. Okay. Liberated Livestock. Extra over. Anything. I will say there are cards inside of this that I'm pulling out. You know really what this deck for me is? Are cards like this that are getting pulled out of here to put in Ariette. That's actually what this is for me. Hey, Retether, I didn't know that was in here. I actually ordered one. Dang it. Oh, I should have looked at the list. Timely Ward, same thing. Damn it. They were cheap cards. Oh, well. Oh, well. Hey, a Beer Umbra's in this. Sweet. That's actually a card I can use another of anyway. Eidolon of Blossoms, kind of the same thing. So this deck's getting torn apart, right? So this is going to be definitely things that I put into other decks. Yeah. And there are things in. Hey, that's a nice reprint. All right, Hall of Heliod's Generosity. That's cool. Ancestral Mask in here also. Well, I will say for 35 bucks, Destiny Spinner, this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Snake Umbra, Utopia Sprawl, which of course just got a massive reprint. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Has way better value than some of the other more recent releases out there. At 35 bucks for the deck, right? That being the key. But yeah, that didn't really have too much in the way of spice of new cards, did it? Unlike the Enixia deck, which actually had quite a bit of really cool new cards. I guess that's the real difference, isn't it? Why those decks were kind of so expensive. They did bring some heat, but didn't they used to always bring heat Remember Strixhaven decks? Those had a lot of neat new cards. What am I complaining about? So what it does seem like they are going to really do a job of Lord Skitter and another Knightly Valor. Nope, Intangible Virtue is what I had before. Whatever. So Tegwheel. Tegwheel does seem really cool. A new Alela. Yeah, this seems like everything works together wonderfully. Brazen Borrower. Oh, I'm happy to pull. I do not own one of those. I've wanted one. So Glen Elendil Archmage. Hey, Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker would be really expensive at this point. I think this is what I know it's the second. Is it the third commander deck they've added it to? I know it's at least the second one. Perplexing Test. Oh, it's a good addition. Reflections Lit Jara. Sword of Temptation. Cool. Theoretical Duplication. Kindred Dominance. I like this deck. This looks fun. Looks fun. Oop, is that Rankle? Did you leave? Hey, you downshifted them even in the deck, even though it doesn't matter because you only get one of each card. Nimrus. And like in $35, I don't expect a mana base that has anything. That's often the most expensive, seemingly the most expensive part of building decks, as long as you don't care about things like Mana Crypts, which I don't. Arcane Denial. Consider Distant Melody. Good card. Frantic Search. Good old Opt. Reality Shift. Shouldn't be too excited about that since now I have a dozen of them. And then artifacts. Hey, Talisman of Dominance. Nice. Cool. Well, short video today. Just some random thoughts around commander decks. It does seem they are tying the price of the commander decks into the price of new, spicier cards. That seems to be the case of kind of what they're doing, which is them paying attention to what they're charging for things. Can't fault them for that. Where did I go with the thick Tegwheel? There it is. All right. So yeah, quick video today. Let me know your thoughts on the decks. I don't think either of them are truly worth the money. The Tegwheel one might be from a reprint and new card perspective. Probably not. But they're also not horribly off either, right? So it does not feel like, at least at that price point, that these are not a bad pickup, right? They're just not a bad pickup, even for getting a selection of things to build around. Especially which is something that I think everybody has to remember. When you order on TCG Player, then you got to pay tax, right? And then if you order from a bunch of different people, not just TCG Player Direct, then you got to pay a bunch of different charges for shipping. And next thing you know is you've spent this. Like you have spent that money. Especially because TCG Player Direct, like sometimes you have to pay a lot more for those copies because they know that then you're going to bundle that for the shipping. So if you ever notice, I can get copies from all these people for like way less, even with 99-cent shipping. But they know that you kind of just want to get it all in one package, and then TCG Player sends it out, and you get it in like 3 to 5 days, right? Whereas everybody else sends snail mail, and you'll see it in 10 to 15 days. So like there's a market for that. But are these actually kind of worth it at that price point versus buying the singles in TCG Player? Yeah, it actually does seem like they are. And that's not bad. I guess that's the way it should be. These decks should have at least enough in there that you buy it and you don't feel taken. Like I did with the Planeswalker deck. All right, bye.